I heard you want to learn how to cook a fish fillet. Let's do it. So before we cook anything, let's defrost our fish. I am using some wild caught flounder today for my fish. This method applies to any type of fish if it is frozen. So this is what a fillet looks like. This would be 1 serving. And I'm just gonna take my scissors and remove it from the plastic that it comes in. I need to sharpen my scissors. And dump it directly into a bowl. And then I'm just gonna do this 5 more times. When you are taking your fish out of the vacuum sealed packages that it comes in when it's frozen, just be mindful that this fish is raw. So make sure that you disinfect the area that you're using when you're done, and also disinfect and wash whatever scissors you are also using. All my fish fillets are out, and now we have to defrost it. So there are 2 ways you can defrost anything for that matter. One way is through refrigeration, so you would just cover this up, put it in the fridge and let it defrost overnight. Or you could do what I'm going to do today because I want to cook this today, which is over in the sink. So let's go over there. So we're going to put our fish in the sink, still in the bowl, and we're going to cover it completely with some cold water. And now we're just going to let it sit and defrost for about 30 minutes or so, depending on how thick your fish is. Now you can have a small trickle of cold water running on this for the duration of the time, just to keep the water flowing and filtering out and keeping the temperature even. While you wait for your fish to defrost, you could disinfect the area that we just used to open up our fish. You could go read a book. You could walk your dog. You could get a workout in. That's what I'm planning on doing. So I'll see you guys back in the kitchen in a few. So it's been about 30 minutes. So let's see how our fish is doing. As you can see, some of it has defrosted already, which is great. But you could also see that some of the fish pieces froze together. So there's a big piece of ice in between, which is normal because everything was frozen and in cold water. So sometimes if it's not too stuck together, I'll gently pull it apart, trying not to damage the fillet. As you can see, if you pull too hard, it separates, which isn't bad, it's still edible. Or you could take your cold water and gently run it on that part that is stuck together, coaxing the fish to separate from each other. You just give it a slow, gentle little push, and it should separate. So I'm just going to keep doing this and letting everything else fully defrost before we start cleaning. Okay, so all our fish is now defrosted. I dumped out the water that I was using to help do that. And now I'm going to take juice of a whole lemon and squeeze it all over our fish. This is what I'm going to use to wash my fish. Now I know there is some controversy about whether or not you should wash your meat and all these things, but as for me and my household, we wash our meat over here using either lemon, vinegar, and that's about it, or lime juice. So today I'm going to be using lemon. So we squeeze that in there, add in a little bit of cold water, not too much, and kind of just wash your fish. And then after this, we just give it a little rinse. Okay, our fish is clean. So now I have a cutting board here and also some paper towel. And I like to lay down my fillets side by side. Just like this. It's okay if your fillet split like this. It's not the end of the world. It just happens because fish is very delicate. So just lay it out. And then I'm gonna take the paper towel and we're going to pat our fish dry on both sides. So just make sure that you already pre-pull your paper towel so you're not cross-contaminating anything. You're not putting raw fish on your whole paper towel roll, etc. So just dab it, flip it, and do the same on this side too. Next up is to oil up our fish. I like to use a neutral oil. This is avocado oil. So I'm just doing a little spray on each fillet so that our seasoning mix will stick. And then you could do both sides with that. Then I'm going to generously coat each fillet with this spice mix that I have. So this fish I'm going to be using for fish tacos. So in here I have some onion powder, garlic powder, smoked paprika, salt, some oregano, white pepper, and chili powder. So I'm making sure that I'm generous on both sides because we want our fish to be nice and flavorful. And we use the oil so that the flavors, the seasonings actually stick to our fish while we cook it. So you just sprinkle it right on and then you kind of just pat it in. And then you do the same for the other side. As you can see, our fish isn't as white as when we started. Let me see if I can get a close up here. A little bit. And that's what we are looking for. I have my skillet here preheating, so now I'm gonna go in with just a little bit more oil. Again, using avocado oil. And then I'm just gonna take 2 of my fillets because we don't want to overcrowd our pan, and gently place it in there. I have my flame on medium heat and I'm gonna let this fillet cook for about 3 minutes before I flip it. Now there are some visual signs that you could use to determine when you should flip your fish. So if you were to look around the corners, the fish has become a little bit more dark white as opposed to this like fleshy white color, meaning these sides are cooked. So I'm going to take my fish spatula, which I think is an absolute must in everybody's kitchen. You should get one. I will drop a recommendation link in the comments or the description below. Why? Because it bends. So this is easier to get under your fish without completely destroying it. Takes a little while to adjust. And then you flip your fillet. And I'm gonna let that go for another few minutes. Fish truly doesn't take that long to cook at all, and there's 2 ways to determine if your fish is cooked. The first way is with a fork. Fish should flake. As you can see, it is easily flaking. So that shows that it is cooked. Or if you are a little bit nervous about that, you could get a food thermometer and temp out the thickest part of your fish to see if it has reached 145 degrees. As you can see, mine is at 184, so it's time to take this out. And now we're just repeating the process until our raw fish fillets are cooked. And this is how you make a fish fillet. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know in the comments below what other recipes you would love to learn. Remember, there's nothing too easy or too hard. I would love to show you how it's done. So until next time, remember, healthy does not mean boring.